Now, next on our list of sessions for today is Regents University in London. And we've got about 30 seconds, so I think we can start. I would like to welcome Professor Vincent Ong.
Hello, hi.
And well, I'm not going to give you a very long introduction. I'm just going to hand straight over to you. And yeah, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I have been to Sweden, to Gothenburg, and a few times to the this event. And for the first time, this is online, which is great. You know, we can still make it work, and it's quite nice to able to meet some of you online and you know, give this talk. So let me just share my slide. As you can see that I'm from Regents University London, so that is our campus is right inside the park. So you see some building in the middle of the park. That is where our university is located. And you can see that London is buzzing, lots of buildings, and you can see the financial hub as well towards the left-hand corner. You can see the tallest building, the Shard, you know, on the in the right top right-hand corner. But today I'm here to talk about the fourth industrial revolution. And again, this is something that I think that as students, you want to know about what is fourth industrial revolution, and especially when you are choosing your studies, whether you want to go for business, management, engineering, you know, any aspects of studies you have in mind, that you probably want to know that this idea about what we are now basically in at the moment, which is the fourth industrial revolution. And I strongly encourage all of you, when you choose your degree in the future, you want to look into some of these elements, regardless of what subject disciplines. They should talk about or offer some subjects or skills and knowledge that would equip you for the fourth industrial revolution. So as you can see here that we are definitely in the most transformative revolution ever. Back in the old time, of course, we have the agriculture as the main economic forces. And then, of course, we have the industrial age, and that's where we have lots of, you know, engineering, you know, factories, manufacturing in all over the world. And then, of course, we have the computer time, the internet era, where we call the information age. And that is where, you know, everything now is on the internet environment. But what is really happening now is somehow we realize that we are very much in the what we call the connected intelligence environment. What does it mean? It means that a lot of platforms or technologies we use, a lot of our activities on business, you know, in our workforce, very much connected with some sort of intelligence that able to bring information and knowledge together. So another way to see that is how we are moving. You know, if you look into from the first industrial revolution, which is very much about steam, all the way to electricity, computing, and now the fourth industrial revolution, where you can see that right from the mobile phone you have will be connected to your computer, your laptop, to your cars, to your house. You know, you probably have heard about smart car or smart city, you know, smart airport, smart homes. So these are really about connected intelligence. Now, the concept of AI, artificial intelligence, again, is definitely part of what is happening now in this fourth industrial revolution. So the World Economic Forum and the founder, in fact, executive chairman said this. He said, "We stand on the brink of a technological revolution that will fundamentally, you know, alter the way we live, work, and relate to one another." So it is a scale, scope, complexity that we must, you know, be aware of. I mean, look at what is happening now. I mean, how we relate to one another, especially with this COVID-19 pandemic. We see even more, you know, new ways or alternative ways of working, of studying, you know, of relating to one another. And also you probably have seen, you know, some companies are really struggling, and when they are not equipped for this situation, but yet some other companies are performing, extremely well because they have been involved in this, transformation towards the fourth industrial revolution. So here, the slide you're seeing here is basically from Deloitte. It's really telling us about the 7 disruptors going on in the current environment. So these 7 disruptors are obviously, having unprecedented change, but at the same time, there are lots of opportunities there. So first of all, take a look on the first icon saying that technology is everywhere. I mean, isn't it true? Now everything can be accessed through your smartphones. Now there are lots of people, the 2.6 billion, probably even now a lot more, are having smartphones. So we carry technology with us. We access data, information, or do our job, do our communication and buy our products, all through our devices, our mobile devices. And then of course we have this tsunami of data. So we have lots of data. And I'm not sure whether you have heard about this concept of big data, which means that now data is a lot, and companies are now finding ways to really draw out, meanings or insights from the data itself. So data analytics are becoming kind of like big trend now in lots of organizations. In fact, lots of companies even recruit people who are, have the expertise and knowledge on data analytics. Then, of course, we are seeing the diversity and generational change. In fact, many of you are millennials. So we see there are 50% millennials worldwide. We probably see less in Europe, but definitely a lot more, in other parts of the world. Now, with the new generation who are now so, comfortable and accessible to technology, to internet, information. So that is something that company must be ready and equipped to really move towards. And then of course we have AI, cognitive and computing or robotics, which means that now we can see that more and more companies are now using something that is more advanced. So AI is something to do with machine learning. So it can be on programming. For example, you can create algorithm who are able to have the intelligence about what we're more likely to buy, for example, or what more likely to match in terms of the preferences from the customers, or what sort of products will be more popular for the customers. But that also apply not just on the computing environment, but also AI could be, AI on robotics, AI on infrastructures. So we begin to see the concept of smart cities, smart, homes, smart cars. Of course, the challenge is the jobs become vulnerable to automation. So you can see that, in fact, a lot of jobs will be gone, in the near future, which means that because those jobs can be now replaced by, computer technologies. In fact, recently, just last few days in the UK, we have like big news about some really big retail are closing down. And I'm not sure you heard about Topshop, Topman. And those companies are struggling, big time, especially with this pandemic, and the shops are now closing down. So you can see that a lot of those jobs in retails can be now will no longer be needed, and in the sense that we need new types of jobs. But the good news is, of course, there will be opportunity. As you can see, what it says that explosion in contingent work, which means that now we begin to see more and more in jobs for temporarily. And if you think about, I'm not sure in Sweden, here of course we have Deliveroo or Uber. I think you know about Uber, right? And those drivers, in fact, they are the contingent workers. So new jobs could be created out of the disruption of technologies. But again, there might be other new types of jobs will be created in the future. Lastly, the last disruptor is about change in nature of a career. As you can see that it says that now the 2.5 to 5 years will be the half-life of skills. What does it mean? It means that every 5 years you need to learn new skills, new knowledge in order to keep up with the employment opportunity. So whatever you are studying, maybe in the near future, it could be no longer, required. So do keep it in mind about, the choice of your studies that will equip you towards the fourth industrial revolution. And here there's another slide talking about some of the key digital disruption drivers. So this is to do with technology here. So first of all, we can see that there is this serendipitous experience. Now, what does it mean? It means that now a lot of experience that customers would like to receive, they like something could be unexpected. For example, they are able to get unexpected, prompts about products information, or maybe about sales, or about any key events. So you can see that a lot of social media platforms now are offering customer experience with this touch, where giving something maybe unexpected. Maybe they say that there is a sales coming up, on tomorrow, but only apply to those who have seen that post on the social media. And of course, companies are expected to be more innovative. So the value proposition, whatever they can offer, got to be creative. And hence we begin to see in the recent years, more and more startups are rising up, coming up with lots of new concepts, new business models in order to do business that areas they have not been tapped on. If you think about the example I can give you about Airbnb, when Airbnb was introduced, basically they saw the gaps between the supply and demand. They saw that there is a demand from people who are traveling, who need accommodation, but they realized that there are also people who have extra rooms or house they could rent it out in a way that offer that accommodation to potential customers. So they saw the gaps and they come up with this concept by bringing the accommodation owner and with potential customers together. So innovative value proposition is definitely key. Now, agile go to the market, which means that now with the digital environment, it got to be very dynamic, very fast. You can get to touch the customers, very quickly with the sales or new products or new services. And of course, data-driven organization. So I talk about data analytics. So this is also now quite popular. Even at Regents, we have one MSc program called MSc in digital marketing digital analytics, because there is a demand. Companies are looking for people with knowledge in analytics. So companies are becoming more data-driven. And of course, autonomous operations, as I've said earlier on, robotics, can take over. And of course, a lot of computing, processes can be now done easily with the computer technologies. So as you can see that the report from OECD said that by 2030, and so that is 10 years time, 14% of jobs will be completely automatic, and 32% of jobs will change significantly. So that is going to happen very quickly. But in fact, if you look around, you probably also have started to hear about some sort of new jobs being created these days. Maybe would you like to write example of one or two jobs that you think that exist now but did not exist 10 years ago? Just feel free to put on the chart to see what are your thoughts on this. Any jobs that exist now but did not exist 10 years ago? Anyone, any thoughts? Okay, if not, don't worry. Maybe later we have Q&A. You can ask some questions if you have in mind, and we can talk about that as well. So you can think about, as I've said, the example, jobs related to data analytics. 10 years ago, companies will not look for, people with that skills and knowledge, but now we need data analytics, people. Or we can look into, even social media marketing. So this is again, now companies are employing people who are able to really focus on social media. So a lot of new jobs these days are somehow connected to technology and or some of the technological solutions or support. So if that is the case, then what skills do you think you would need in the fourth industrial revolution? And that is where it's essential for us to take note. And even at Regents, when we design our curriculum, we want to make sure that we are ready, for the fourth industrial revolution. So again, from World Economic Forum here, showing us, skills demand increasing in 2022 versus skills demand declining in 2022. Now, just scan through that list and you notice that, let's say, for example, those that are declining now, some of those skills, as you can see, they can be now completed or done by computer technologies. And so, for example, quality control. In fact, machines, computer, can able to have much better control because anything that is can be programmed, and then you can ensure that it's a good, some sort of good quality. Anything to do with precision, again, that can be done now with technologies, and including even management of finance, and those also can be done with the computer technologies. But what is really increasing in the future, as you can see, that is very much to do with innovation, creativity, originality, emotional intelligence, social influence. So the skill set, as you can see, that they are not all just technology related, but they are also related to the human aspect. For example, creativity, emotional intelligence, leadership, social influence. So those are the skills they are increasing towards the fourth industrial revolution. So as you can see from the statement here, digital skills, technology, design and program, and systems analysis are on the rise, but so are human skills. So in the sense that some of the human skills are still very much needed, even when it comes to arts, design. And so those are very much part of the skill set that we will need for the fourth industrial revolution. So just to, before I move on, just introduce some of the examples, how we offer programs or teaching in the university for the fourth industrial revolution. So that may also help you in your choice for your studies and your degree that you would like to pursue. So do keep in mind about programs or degree programs that could offer you some of these skill sets that will prepare you for the fourth industrial revolution. So at the moment, we can see that more and more universities now start incorporate some of the courses, programs, that can really support students, to be ready for the fourth industrial revolution. So the skills are not just digital. So again, as I said, it can be the both sides, digital aspect and human skills aspect. So here back at Regents, as you can see that in our business and management studies, we have the foundation. So if students can't join the first year degree, they can come in as a foundation for 1 year. And then they can move on to do the BA International Business, where the focus is about language. So you do a foreign language alongside with your studies, and then there will be a study abroad. So the study abroad will be just 1 term, and so it will be 3 years degree program. So in the sense that students would have 2 destinations, so they can study in London for 2.5 years, and then 1 semester abroad. And the place where they will go for abroad will be related to the choice of the target language, because we do have lots of partner institutions worldwide. Then we have the BA Global Management with different pathways. As you can see that we have even a pathway called Leadership and Change. So early on, you see that the skill set that companies are looking for would be on leadership and influence, change management, because things are changing so quickly. So hence we offer a degree program, on leadership and change. And so it's a generalist degree, but the focus here is on leadership and management. We also have a pathway on enterprise and innovation. And again, if you are into entrepreneurship, enterprising, this is also something is on the rise because, again, this is an important skill set for the fourth industrial revolution. And of course, the other reason also at Regents, we do have many students have the family business background. And so if you're someone very much into starting new business, have new ideas to make the companies even better, and then you may consider a degree program related to enterprise and innovation. We also have a pathway on finance, but the focus is really about investment, finance aspect, because London is a financial hub. So lots of opportunities you would have when you do your studies in London. Another pathway is marketing, but again, the focus here is really towards areas related to marketing analytics, digital marketing, marketing communication. So again, something really very current and related to the fourth industrial revolution. We also see the rise of events and experience management. These days, companies focus a lot of customer experience, whether it is digital or non-digital, and that is definitely an area we see the rise of it. You have come across, I'm sure, like a lot of companies have pop-up stores. So again, the whole idea is to offer experience for their customers or potential customers. So we launched this new pathway quite recently. And the way we look into all of this, and I can give you some example, like we will make sure that, for example, on finance, we will do fintech, financial technology, because that is really something for the future. We also will look into marketing analytics, the example I gave you earlier on. So you can see that even with the business and management studies, we want to make sure that what we teach students will allow them to have that opportunity to be ready for the fourth industrial revolution. There's one thing quite interesting at Regent is that our students can, in fact, every semester choose something that is not related to business and management. For example, they can do something on design or fashion, or maybe like humanities, international relations. So we want to broaden students' experience and knowledge in other areas. And again, this is also very essential for the fourth industrial revolution. Our whole focus is really about personalized learning because we are a private university. So we give lots of care for our students. So lots of personalized, learning with personal tutor and approach. Creative enterprising is big because lots of our students start new businesses. So we have lots of modules related to creativity and enterprising or entrepreneurship. We very much want students to learn from the global perspectives because the world is getting smaller. Even with the BA International Business, it's not just global perspective, but they have a global experience. And then of course, we also design our curriculum that is based on challenge-based learning. So challenge-based curriculum, which means that every semester or every year, our students will embark on a challenge. So for example, first year, there will be a leadership and team building challenge. Second year, there will be an enterprise challenge. Final year will be a leadership challenge, or it could be a finance, related challenge. So we see that experiential learning or experimental learning, is a good way to learn. So again, when you are choosing for your degree, and do look into those other areas, not just looking into the courses, but look at what are the extracurricular activities, what are the extra aspects that would make your learning much more fun and creative. We do have also programs related to humanities, arts, and social science. As you can see that we have fashion design, marketing, fashion marketing, interior design, film and screen, acting for stage and screen. We also have liberal studies. It's a similar like American program. So we do have a program using the American approach, at Regents. So you can do a liberal studies with a different major. So you can major, in fashion, in filming, in, politics and economics, or business itself. and we also have a psychology. I mean, personally, I'm a business and management teaching member of staff. So, but if you want to find out more, and again, do check out our website. So just very quickly before I end here and open for some questions, as you can see that this is where we are located. And, if you study in London, you have London itself, as a city, is a place of learning where you have the opportunity to, visit lots of companies. We often have lots of guest speakers coming around and really accessible. The location, is right in the center of London. And yes, it is in the park and it's very green. We have about 3,500 students and very diverse, 137 students from different nationalities. I must say that here we have quite many students from Sweden, Norway, and Denmark. So for sure, when you come to Regents, you will find some Swedish friends, around here at Regents. But maybe some of you would know some of your seniors who now have come to Regents for their studies. So we do have a very beautiful campus that we are proud of. We often say that we have the most beautiful campus in London. So thank you for listening to this talk, and you can check out more from our website, regents.ac.uk.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for the time.
Really appreciate you taking time to be here with us today.